Ladies, we gotta talk. Now, before y'all get mad at me, let me make one thing clear. This is not about calling anybody dumb. This is about waking up, learning from mistakes, and doing better. You see, some women keep repeating the same bad decisions over and over. And when it comes to relationships, they get stuck in the same cycle of heartbreak. And let me tell you, life is too short to be crying over a man who don't deserve you. Listen, ladies, you are supposed to have standards. That's not being a picky. That's knowing your worth. But some women, oh Lord, some women will settle for anything just to say they got a man. You ever seen a woman with a man that got no job, no ambition, no goals, just vibes? And she'll sit there defending him like he just going through a rough patch. Baby girl, he been in that rough patch since high school. Some of y'all will give a man the benefit of the doubt so many times, he don't even have to prove himself anymore. A real man steps up. He don't just sit there waiting for you to carry him. If a man isn't treating you right, respecting you, or meeting your standards, he's not the one. A man should rise to your level, not drag you down to his. Some women will see the red flags, the alarms going off, the sirens blaring, and still act like everything is fine. Oh, but he only cheated once. Oh, but he only gets mad sometimes. Oh, but he apologized. Girl, how many times you gonna let that man apologize for the same thing? Let me tell you something. A man will show you who he is early on. But some of y'all think you can change him. You think if you love him hard enough, pray for him long enough, or stick by him through enough nonsense, he'll suddenly become the man you imagine. Nope. A man doesn't change unless he wants to. And if he's comfortable disrespecting you, why would he stop? Stop ignoring what's right in front of you. If he lies, if he's inconsistent, if he disappears for days at a time and comes back with some weak excuse, believe him the first time. Some of y'all out here fighting for a man like he's the last piece of chicken at a family reunion. Competing with other women, checking his phone, stalking his social media, trying to prove you're the better choice. Let me tell you something. If a man is making you compete, he already chose. And it wasn't you. A real man knows when he has a good woman. He don't play games. He don't keep options open. And he definitely don't put you in a position where you feel like you gotta fight for his love. A woman with self-respect don't chase. She don't beg, and she sure don't compete. If you ever find yourself going back and forth with another woman over a man, step back and ask yourself, is he really worth it? Because the truth is, if he really valued you, he wouldn't have you in that position in the first place. A lot of women think that just being pretty is enough. They think a man will stay just because they got a nice body, a pretty face, or know how to dress. But let me tell you something. Looks fade, but a good woman lasts forever. I've seen men leave the most beautiful women you've ever seen for someone who made them feel appreciated, respected, and valued. Get it? A woman with goals, ambition, intelligence, and a great personality will always outshine a woman who only brings beauty to the table. Now, don't get me wrong. Take care of yourself. Be beautiful. Feel good. But don't let that be the only thing you bring to the table. A real man wants a partner, not just a trophy. Some women get with a man and suddenly forget who they are. They stop hanging out with their friends, stop chasing their dreams, stop doing what makes them happy, all because they wrap their whole identity around a man. Now he got her dressing how he wants, talking how he wants, cutting people off for him, and rearranging her whole life just to keep him happy. And guess what? When he leaves, she don't even recognize herself anymore. Ladies, a relationship should add to your life, not take away from it. A real man wants a woman who has her own mind, her own dreams, and her own happiness. If you lose yourself just to keep a man, you already lost. Some of y'all been in a toxic relationship so long you don't even realize it ain't normal. You're exhausted, you're unhappy, but you stay because you've invested too much time. Listen, if the stock is crashing, sell it. Time does not equal happiness. Just because you've been with him for years doesn't mean you should stay another 5 being miserable. Some of y'all praying for a good man while refusing to let go of the wrong one. God ain't gonna send you a blessing when you're still entertaining a burden. Staying in something that's draining you, disrespecting you, and making you feel less than who you are is not love. It's fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear that no one else will want you. But let me tell you something. Being single is better than being stuck in something that's breaking you. The moment you start choosing yourself, you'll realize that peace feels a whole lot better than a toxic relationship. Some women will see the red flags, the alarms going off, the sirens blaring, and still act like everything is fine. Oh, but he only cheated once. Oh, but he only gets mad sometimes. Oh, but he apologized. Girl, how many times you gonna let that man apologize for the same thing? Let me tell you something. A man will show you who he is early on, but some of y'all think you can change him. You think if you love him hard enough, pray for him long enough, or stick by him through enough nonsense, he'll suddenly become the man you imagine. Nope, a man doesn't change unless he wants to. And if he's comfortable disrespecting you, why would he stop? Ignoring red flags is one of the biggest mistakes a woman can make in a relationship. It's like seeing smoke in a building and refusing to believe there's a fire. Ladies, you have instincts for a reason. If something feels off, it usually is. But some women get so caught up in potential that they ignore reality. He's not texting you back like he used to. You convince yourself, oh, he's just busy. But let's be real. Nobody is that busy. A man who wants you makes time. He may have a job, responsibilities, things going on in his life, but if he cares, he will find a moment to check in. If he's constantly giving you excuses, disappearing for hours or even days, and only coming around when it's convenient for him, he's showing you where you stand in his life. Maybe he's lying, but you tell yourself, oh, it's just a small lie. It doesn't really matter. But here's the truth. Small lies turn into big ones. If he's lying about where he was last night, what else is he lying about? If he's hiding his phone and being secretive, there's usually a reason. A trustworthy man has nothing to hide, and cheating, oh, let's talk about it. A woman will catch a man cheating. Instead of holding him accountable, she'll blame the other woman. Now listen, if she knew about you and still went after him, he's wrong too. But at the end of the day, he's the one in the relationship. If he was loyal, there wouldn't be another woman to worry about in the first place. Some women stay with cheaters because they think, oh, well, he said it was a mistake. But let me tell you something, cheating is not a mistake. A mistake is forgetting to pick up milk at the grocery store. Cheating is a choice. He made a decision to betray your trust. And the more you let it slide, the more he'll keep doing it. And what about disrespect? Some women will let a man talk down to them, humiliate them in front of others, and even put hands on them, and still say, oh, but I love him. Love is not supposed to hurt. A man who truly loves you will protect you, respect you, and lift you up. If he's constantly breaking you down, that's not love. That's control. Sometimes the red flags aren't even big things like cheating or abuse. Sometimes it's the small things that show you who a man really is. Pay attention to how he treats other people. How does he talk to waiters at a restaurant? How does he act when he doesn't get his way? Is he kind or does he have a short temper? A man who is rude, selfish, or dismissive to others will eventually treat you the same way. And let's talk about inconsistency. 1 minute he's all about you, texting you good morning, planning dates, making you feel special. The next minute he's distant, cold, and unavailable. Ladies, this is a game. He knows how to keep you hooked just enough to make you stay, but never enough to fully commit. A real man is consistent. He doesn't run hot and cold. Now I know what some of y'all are thinking. But what if I'm overthinking? What if I'm being too sensitive? Listen, there's a difference between being paranoid and seeing the truth. If you constantly feel uneasy in your relationship, if you're always second-guessing yourself, if your gut is telling you something is off, trust that feeling. Too many women ignore red flags because they don't want to start over. They think, oh, well, I've already invested so much time, but staying in a bad situation just because you've been in it for a long time is like sitting through a bad movie because you already watched the first half. If it's bad, it's bad. Walk out. And let's be real, some women ignore red flags because they're scared to be alone. But let me tell you something, being single is better than being miserable with the wrong person. You don't have to tolerate nonsense just to have somebody to call your man. Ignoring red flags will only lead to more pain down the road. The longer you stay, the harder it will be to leave. The deeper you get, the more damage it does to your self-esteem. And by the time you finally decide to walk away, you'll look back and realize you saw the signs from the start. So, ladies, if something don't feel right, it's probably not right. Stop making excuses for bad behavior. Stop convincing yourself that things will change when all the evidence says they won't. Stop ignoring what's right in front of you. Because the truth is, you deserve better. And the moment you stop accepting less, that's exactly what you'll get. Some of y'all out here fighting for a man like he's the last piece of chicken at a family reunion, competing with other women, checking his phone, stalking his social media, trying to prove you're the better choice. Let me tell you something. And it wasn't you. A real man knows when he has a good woman. He don't play games. He don't keep options open. And he definitely don't put you in a position where you feel like you gotta fight for his love. A woman with self-respect don't chase. She don't beg. And she sure don't compete. Let's talk about competition. Some of y'all got this idea in your head that you need to prove yourself to a man. That if you cook better, dress better, love harder, or look prettier than the next woman, he's gonna choose you. But let me break it to you. A man who is really for you won't have you fighting for his attention in the first place. See, a real relationship is supposed to be a partnership, not a competition. If you constantly feel like you're in a race, always trying to outdo another woman, always looking over your shoulder, then you're not in a relationship. You're in a contest. And let me tell you, that is not love. You ever see a woman scrolling through a man's phone like she's a private investigator? Checking his messages, looking at who liked his pictures, reading his DM like she's searching for clues? Let me ask you, why are you even with a man you don't trust? If you gotta monitor him like he's a child, then that's not your man. That's a problem. A real relationship is built on trust, not surveillance. Now, I get it. Some of y'all got cheated on before. You got hurt, you got betrayed. And now every time you get with a man, you feel like you gotta keep an eye on him to make sure it don't happen again. But let me tell you something. If you have to investigate him, you already know the answer. A man who is truly committed to you will not have you feeling like you gotta play detective. Some women spend more time trying to outshine another woman than actually building something meaningful with their man. They dress a certain way just to make sure they're looking better than his ex. They post pictures just to prove a point. They get caught up in trying to be the best choice instead of realizing that a real man only has one choice. And let's talk about these men who encourage competition. You know the type, the ones who like to keep their options open. The ones who never fully commit but love to keep women on standby just in case. The ones who flirt with other women in front of you to make you jealous. A man who does this is not a king. He's a manipulator. And yet some women fall for it every time. A man who truly loves you won't test you by making you feel insecure. He won't play mind games just to see how much you'll fight for him. A real man will make you feel secure in the relationship. You won't have to compete because he's already made it clear you're the one he wants. And let me tell you another thing. A confident woman does not compete. A confident woman knows she's the prize. She don't chase. She don't beg. She don't fight over a man like he's a championship trophy. She knows that if a man wants to be with someone else, she's gonna let him go. Because a man who can be stolen was never really hers to begin with. Now let's talk about social media. Some of y'all out here obsessing over every little thing your man does online. You're watching to see who he follows, analyzing every like, stressing over every comment. And for what? If you're that worried about what he's doing when you're not around, you're already losing peace over this man. A real relationship is not about proving yourself to a man or winning him over. It's about mutual respect, loyalty, and love. If you're constantly trying to be better than another woman just to keep him interested, then you're already in the wrong situation. A woman who knows her worth will never lower herself to competition because she understands that love is not a game. If a man can't see your value without you proving it, then he don't deserve you. So stop competing. Stop trying to outshine the next woman. Stop wasting your energy trying to prove you're the best choice. A man who truly wants you will never put you in a position where you feel like you have to fight for him. Because at the end of the day, a queen does not compete. She chooses. And if a man is making you compete, it's time to choose yourself. A lot of women think that just being pretty is enough. They think a man will stay just because they got a nice body, a pretty face, or know how to dress. But let me tell you something, looks fade, but a good woman lasts forever. I've seen men leave the most beautiful women you've ever seen for someone who made them feel appreciated, respected, and valued. A woman with goals, ambition, intelligence, and a great personality will always outshine a woman who only brings beauty to the table. Now, don't get me wrong. Take care of yourself, be beautiful, feel good, but don't let that be the only thing you bring to the table. A real man wants a partner, not just a trophy. A lot of women grow up thinking that their beauty is their greatest asset. Society tells women, be pretty, and everything else will fall into place. But let me tell you something, there's always going to be someone prettier. If your whole value is based on how you look, what happens when another woman comes around who's just as beautiful, maybe even more? What happens when time does what time does to all of us? And you don't look 25 forever. A smart woman understands that a good man stays because of who you are, not just what you look like. You could have the perfect body, the best fashion, and the prettiest face, but if you don't bring anything deeper to the table, eventually he's going to get bored. Now, let me make this clear. I'm not saying beauty doesn't matter. Of course, attraction is important in a relationship, but looks alone won't make a man stay. A man might chase beauty, but he commits to value. Think about it like this. Imagine a man buys a brand new sports car. It's flashy, it's shiny, it turns heavy where he goes, but the car breaks down every other week. The engine don't work right, and it's costing him more stress than it's worth. Guess what? He's going to trade it in for something reliable. That's how relationships work too. A man might be drawn to a beautiful woman at first, but if she brings nothing but looks, the relationship will eventually fall apart. Some women think that once they secure a man with their looks, they don't have to put in any more effort. They get comfortable. They stop growing. They stop bringing new energy to the relationship. But let me tell you something. A man who values depth will not stay with a woman who only offers surface-level attraction. A strong relationship is built on more than just physical attraction. A man wants a woman he can talk to, a woman who supports him, a woman who pushes him to be better. If all you bring to the table is beauty, then your relationship is only as strong as your appearance, and that's a weak foundation. Now, some of y'all are thinking, but men always go after the beautiful women. Yes, at first they do, but pay attention to who they marry. Pay attention to who they build with. Pay attention to who they stay with. Men might be attracted to beauty, but they stay for something deeper. And let's be real, some of the most successful high-value men out there don't just look for a beautiful woman. They look for a woman with intelligence, ambition, and class. They want a woman who can hold a conversation, handle business, and stand beside them as a partner. So if you're out here thinking that your looks are enough, let me ask you, what else do you bring to the table? Do you have ambition? Do you have goals? Do you have something you're passionate about? Because a smart man is looking for a woman who adds to his life, not just decorates it. And let me tell you, a woman with a strong mind, a good heart, and ambition is unstoppable. She walks in a room and people respect her. She doesn't have to compete because she knows her worth. She doesn't have to beg for attention because her presence commands it. That's the kind of woman a man remembers. That's the kind of woman he values. So, yes, be beautiful, but also be smart, be kind, be driven. Because at the end of the day, looks fade, but character lasts forever.